Hello, everybody in YouTube land. Is people, well, people are the purple butterfly, otherwise known as People7 on Twitter and YouTube. People are elsewhere on the internet, and purple butterfly people.blogspot.com. And since I'm in a giveaway type mood, I figured I'd give away a couple of my secrets. Hold on a second, the camera's acting a little goofy. Sometimes a kickstand just kind of plops on me. Anyway, I received an inbox from one of the recipients of the giveaway, and she says thank you and all that, which is good. But she asked about the stuff I use on my skin because she noticed I always say I don't use chemical products, so forth and so on. So now I'm giving away the secrets of what I do use on my skin. To wash my skin, about 90% of the time, I use baking soda and water. You take a little baking soda, you sprinkle in your hand, make a paste, rub it together, and scrub your skin. Rinse that away. If I feel I need a toner, a little vinegar mixed with some water, I can actually use vinegar straight, but because of, your eyes watering or whatever, you might want to add a little water to that. When I want to do a mask, or if I just want to be playful or whatever, I'll get some yogurt out the kitchen, usually about a cup. There's actually a post on my blog called Chocolate Facial Mask. You're going to take 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, put in there a tablespoon or so of corn syrup. Most people will use honey. I'm allergic to honey. I'm allergic to a lot of stuff. But for everything I'm allergic to, I have found a substitute for it, or I just don't use it. So instead of honey, like they would at a spa, if you go to a spa and say, I want a chocolate facial mask, they'd be like, oh, sure, no problem. And they're painting honey and cocoa and yogurt on your face. Well, if I go to a spa, I will have to say, is that pre-mixed, or do you mix it up now? Because if they're mixing it up now, I could say, please don't put honey in my mask. If it's pre-mixed, I can't do it. So, and I found that out the hard way by breaking out bright red patches, couldn't breathe, and almost had to be rushed to the hospital. So I use corn syrup. It does the same thing. It forms a binding agent, so that way it doesn't fall apart once it dries. But a lot of times, because the way it falls apart when it dries does not bother me. I might have a video on YouTube, but I have to check, or one of my chocolate masks. But once you mix the yogurt and the cocoa together and put it on your face, it's almost the exact color of my skin. It's like a cocoa brown. When it dries, it's like the color of coffee. This mixture has antioxidants. It pluffs up any place like where you have the sagging cheeks, where you have sucking in eyes and all that. It puffs up that skin, but where your skin is puffy, it balances. Plus, it gets rid of pimples. It feels fantastic. That's the only way to describe it. It feels great. And when it dries, because I don't use the corn syrup to bind it, I can literally just lean on the sink and rub it right off. And then whatever doesn't rub off, I can just take a warm towel, hold it to my face, and wash the rest of it off. If you use honey or corn syrup, then obviously that's not going to happen because it's going to stay put. You're going to take a warm towel, wring it out, hold it over your face. Well, hold on, let me get a paper towel and I'll show you what I mean. You would dip the towel in some water and then, make sure that it's nice warm water, and you will hold it over your face and just kind of, press the water in to loosen up, the dried mask, and then you would very gently start wiping it off. I do that about once a month, but what I use the same mixture for, so sometimes I mix up a double batch, and I'll put in extra cocoa, and this is going to sound stupid, but it works. I'll start taking it and putting it in my hair. 2 reasons. Oh, this is really good with Greek yogurt as well. And if you're using regular yogurt, just use plain. You don't have to get a flavor, Don't even bother with vanilla. Just get plain yogurt. But yogurt is protein rich, and the acid in it strips out any buildup you have in your hair, and the cocoa turns your gray brown. That's how I color my hair. That's what I actually use to color my hair before I did my regrowth journey. And as you can tell, well, if you've seen some of my videos, it's like a reddish brown to right here, and then the rest is my natural hair color. It does not wash out, okay? Especially if you go right behind it with some vinegar. And I always do a vinegar rinse when I wash my hair because vinegar is pH balancing and all that good stuff. Plus, you know, if you want to unlock some shine in your hair, you want to use some vinegar on your hair. Anyway, as ridiculous as it sounds, it works. I mean, well, hold on. Well, I unplugged it to the charger, so that's making the phone kind of difficult to move. But let's see if I get to the light. You can see where, because I have an actual skunk streak. I mean, my gray comes in a strip down the middle. But if you look real close, you can see the gray and the black, and you can see the brown on the ends of my hair. It works. I mean, it's been this color for nearly 9 months. And the yogurt has, you know, the yogurt coloring has not washed out yet. Theoretically speaking, because it is a natural product and is a food product and is not made to be used that way, you're supposed to say, it'll wash out in 6 to 8 hair washes. I wash my hair 6 to 8 times a week in the summer. So the fact that it's still here when I did it, I think it was in January or February, somewhere along those lines, and it's still here, duh, that's more than 6 to 8 hair washes. So it's long lasting. Also, you could use, if you're not allergic to cinnamon, you could use cinnamon along with a little, you know, honey or corn syrup or whatever with some nutmeg. Put it any place you have a pimple. But if you are allergic to cinnamon, skip the cinnamon, use the nutmeg, use the corn syrup, and use ground sage powder. It will be green. It will be ugly, but it will work. Okay. Sage is also good for clotting blood, by the way. So if you ever get a cut or a nick or, you know, like with my grandson when he fell and hit his head on the concrete porch and he was bleeding, you know, everybody's running to call 911. They're trying to use their hand to blot it. I ran to the kitchen. I literally grabbed the sage, went like this and went like this. Then we took him to the hospital. And the doctor goes, what's all this green stuff? And my daughter said, I don't know. My mom put that there. And I said, it's sage. It clots blood. And the doctor apparently has a clue. I don't know if he was from the United States or not. He had an accent. But he said, yeah, and it's got antiseptic properties too. I went, yeah, see, you know. But it's like, if there's something natural in the house, I'm going to be the one to find out how it works, why it works, if it has a benefit for me. Because I can't use chemicals. And sometimes you get bored with just plain baking soda on your face. I have been known to take the baking soda, stick it in a blender with some oatmeal, stick a couple of cabbage leaves in there, and I can't eat cabbage, but I can use it on my skin. Or spinach, same reason. And both cabbage and spinach will get rid of acne. Or those breakouts, like hives when you have an allergic reaction to something. Sounds crazy. I don't know why it works, but I know it works. And then with the baking soda, you know, you can actually use baking soda as a mask by itself with some water. But, you know, sometimes you want to just have something you go like this with. For oils, I use olive oil. I use tea tree. I have some eucalyptus oil around here in an itty-bitty brown bottle about that big. Whenever I find it, I use 5-10 drops of it and whatever. Then I misplace it again. Then it's gone until I find it again. That brings me to something else, because I know this question is going to come up. Deodorant. No, I do not use a commercial deodorant. I use this. This is 10 drops of eucalyptus oil, a few drops of tea tree. I think I put a couple of drops of my favorite perfume in there, some vinegar, and a couple other things. There is no alcohol in this. There's no chemicals in this. I actually use this on my hair sometimes. It's like if I have an itch, boom, you know. But for when I, got to go to work and everything, wash up, soap in the important places, spritz this, let it dry, boom, I'm out the door. The moment the vinegar smell goes away, you're left with the scent of whatever else you put in there. And even if you sweat, you're left with the scent of whatever's in there and not the smell of sweat, not the smell of perspiration. There's no funk, and it's all natural. I used to make a baking soda, baby powder, aloe vera mixture as a deodorant, along with some coconut oil in there. And that, it didn't last very long. You had to add alcohol or something to it. And that's fine if you're, wanting to do a stick type deodorant. But sometimes, especially if I'm in a rush, I just like the spray bottle. It's like spray. If it's still wet, you just, kind of go like this. So that way it smears any place sweat will go and keep it moving. And by the time it dries, nobody knows. Well, you do now. But anyway, there are all kinds of natural alternatives to cleaning your skin. And for those who are looking for a new use for their old conditioners that they can't use in their hair anymore, co-washers know exactly what I mean when they switch to silicates and all that, sulfate-free rather. You can actually use that stuff to clean your skin. On your face, there's a stinging type burn feeling, for me anyway, because I'm allergic to a lot of stuff. But if it works for you, give it a try. There's all kinds of research you can do. Basically, the most I can leave you with is if it's a fruit, there's acid in it. That acid will be beneficial for your skin, so you can use it for cleaning, as a mask or whatever. Bases like baking soda is good for cleaning your skin, and it's all natural. Just make sure whatever natural ingredient you use, make sure it's not something you're allergic to. And what most people can use, and what most people don't realize, aloe vera, the juice, the gel, the plant, as long as it's 4 years or older, mature aloe vera, not the young leaves, is good for your skin. Young aloe vera can actually be poisonous, but old aloe vera, like mature plants, 4 years and older, is great for your skin. You can use it to wash your skin. You can use it to wash your hair. You can use it to moisturize. You can use it for burns, cuts, blah, blah, blah. This stuff is God's answer to everything else. If you have an allergic reaction to something else, the aloe vera will take away the sting, the red, the itch, all of that. Now, the tricky thing about that is some people are allergic to aloe vera. They say about 3% of the populace. So if you know you're not allergic to aloe vera, go for it. If you happen to be allergic to aloe vera, don't bother to risk it, okay? So those tips being said, this is P+7. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye now.